Hi there, it's Cindy Powers Prosser, and I'm back. I've taken some time off and I'm here with the video, and it feels so good to be here. But let me tell you, it's taken a few weeks to get here. So most of you know that in December I broke my hip, and doctor's orders, I was not to be weight bearing, doing any kind of walking or really anything on it for 3 months. And yes, it was a long 3 months. I spent that 3 months really taking care of myself and my personal clients. And that was about it. I really didn't write a whole lot. I didn't do any videos, no Facebook Lives. I didn't get out and speak or network. I stayed at home because I had to. I really couldn't get anywhere. But I tended to myself, and it actually felt really good. Now, about 3.5 weeks ago, I got the okay to start my normal life again. And I was so excited to be walking and being able to drive and get around. And I knew that I was going to dive into my business and you. So every day for the last 3 weeks, I've had this intention to do a video, to write a blog post, to create a program. And something in me just wouldn't let me get going. So I'd wake up in the morning with this great intention. And when I go to bed, I'd feel disappointed because I hadn't really done it. It was like almost like I had a foot on the gas and a foot on the brake, and then a foot on the gas and then a foot on the brake. Does that ever happen to you? It happens to me in vulnerable situations. And getting back to work after being out of the saddle for a while and really just focusing on me somehow it created this vulnerable situation that triggered this belief, this story, this fear that was inside of me. And I'm very familiar with this story, and I've done a lot of work around it. And most of the time, I show up like this. But every now and then, like I say, in vulnerable situations, I can get triggered. And it took me a little while to really come to grips with it. Let me fill you in a little bit about where the story comes from. When I was 4 years old, my mom put me into school early. The rest of the class were all 5 years old, and because I was tall for my age and I fit in physically, she thought that I'd be able to pull it off. Well, I was able to pull it off until about age 7. And at 7 years old, I started to developmentally and socially fall behind. And it started to show up in circumstances such as this. One day, the teacher asked a question, and I enthusiastically raised my hand with my answer. And I stood up to give my answer, and although my answer was really appropriate for my developmental age, it was very young for the rest of the class. And so when I gave my answer, the class all laughed at me, and the teacher told me to sit down. Now, this shame and pain that seems so small and innocent to most of us was quite deep and piercing to me at the time. And it hasn't really completely healed. And I've done a lot of work on this, and I know it is a story that I continue to kind of play into. The story of not being smart enough, the story of not belonging or fitting in or being laughed at. And it can get triggered in, like I say, certain situations. And so I really looked at this story this last week, and I had a little conversation with this part of me. And I learned years ago that I had to be there for that part of me. Although I wish that my mother or my teacher could be there for me a long time ago, this time has passed. And the only person that's going to show up for me today is me. So today you can see that I'm showing up as the resourceful, compassionate, loving spiritual adult that I am, and that little girl is kept safe and secure and not having to do the video or be in my business. But it is something that is a story that I can get triggered and tell myself, and it can keep me playing small and keep me from the life that I so desire. Is there a story that might be inside of you that gets triggered? A story or a belief or a fear that keeps you from living the desired life that you want? I know with a lot of my clients, stories can range from I'm not lovable, I need to be perfect. I need to prove my self-worth. I need to compete for whatever's happening. The stories can range from all kinds of things that happened in your past, or from a belief or a story from a well-intentioned adult in your life. These aren't passed on or made to hurt you. They're usually passed on from someone who does care, but they're role modeled or they're shared and passed on to you when you're young. And then we believe it's true, we believe it's real, and we take them with us as we grow up. And they're the stories that keep us stuck and keep us playing small. They keep us from the love we desire. They keep us from the career that we so want. They keep us from the money that we want. And bottom line, it keeps us from being really happy and fulfilled. It keeps us frustrated. It keeps us exhausted. And so just take a moment and think about when you feel frustrated, and would it be tied to a story from your past? It's something that I find is almost 100% there with most clients and people that I work with. So the reason why I'm coming to you today with this is, first of all, I'm really excited to be back, and yes, you will see more of me from now on. I've also decided to create a retreat. I am going to create a retreat that's going to be around unfolding your stories, really letting go of the stories that are keeping you small and stuck, and recreating your story in a much more powerful and great way. And I'm going to do that over a 2.5-day period, a beautiful 2.5-day retreat over the winter solstice here at my brand new home. I'm very excited about doing this. And so if you live in the area, anywhere in New Zealand, or if you want to fly over from Australia or the United States, I will be doing this June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd here in our beautiful home in Amokaroa. And I'm really excited about sharing this work and helping you to dismantle and disassemble the old story that is keeping you stuck, and recreate a brand new story for you so that you can move forward in this beautiful new energy of the solstice. The winter solstice is a great time to do this work because it's all about letting go and then expanding into the new, creating more in the longer days that are going to be coming after the solstice. So if this sounds interesting to you and you want to know more, go ahead and send me a message, or you can email me at cindy@cindypowersprosser.com. I'd love to talk to you if this is interesting to you. Otherwise, I'll be back. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.